Jim, congratulations. It looked a relatively comfortable win today. Did it feel like that from where you were looking?
I'm really disappointed. I'm livid. But, there's a lot goes on around. There's always a bit of a circus goes on, but I think we should have capitalised and won by more. That for me today was not just a 3-pointer, but it could have been a 4-pointer. I've got people behind me saying we're winning 3-0. I've got players playing like the next 10 minutes doesn't matter. And I think if we win this game 4-0, it could be. I know people won't understand the expression of 4-pointer, but when you go and beat Barkley 3-0, it's a 4-pointer. You're taking 3 points and you're also overcoming their goal difference. That mentality I think we need to get out of ourselves. If we've got an opportunity to go and get more goals and win the game by more, we need to take it.
You think there's not a killer instinct in some of your players? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just think some of the we want to rest when we're winning games, and I think. Now, if you go back to Alex Ferguson's teams, I think they're relentless right to the end, and goal difference can make a difference. I don't think it's going to make a difference in the Premier League, but I'll be really disappointed at the end of the season that if we have an opportunity to win games by more, never mind giving away a goal, but the mentality's got to be better than that in the final few minutes. If that game was 1-0, then it's 2 points lost, and so the mentality's got to be different. And I don't want people, once you start thinking the game's won, or you take your foot off the gas, or you start managing the game, there's times when the opposition are high up the pitch that you really got to be ruthless, and if we could have released Kane Felix, I'm sure he would have scored.
It's interesting. I must admit, even in commentary, we felt that last half hour the game was a bit of a non-event. Is that how you felt? Well,
what we wanted to do was invite them up the pitch. I think Leicester City showed last year possession is not king. It's penetration. We dropped off, let them have the ball, come into our half, and we only had one time when we released Kane, and it wasn't even a good ball. He's made it into a good ball. He's gone around the keeper's clipped him. But Lewis Montrose has an opportunity to play him early. Dawdles on the ball, gets pinched, and they score. So it infuriates me.
Having said all of that, was the result ever in doubt really after that period, after the third goal went in, and maybe that's the mentality?
I don't know. It's not. We didn't set out to win this game 3-0, but we would have took that. You're 3-0 up, and then you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, let's let the mentality change now. Let's maximise what we can get out of this game. We got 3 points out of this game and a +2 goal difference. I thought we could have got more.
Is there a double frustration in that when you look at the other results today, all of the top 7 have won today? It's incredible.
But I'm not frustrated about them. We've just got to look after ourselves. Like I said, if we get to a stage in the game where we're winning, drawing, chasing the game, our last 10 or 15 minutes has to be better than what it was. And I think we've got people wanting to kill the game when there's an opportunity to penetrate. We've got people wanting to have a rest and let them get into their shape. I think they've got a lot to learn, and I've got a lot to give them. But I'm hoarse every game, having to talk them through it. And I end up shouting and saying, lads, talk to him. I'm saying the same things to people, and maybe it's their instinct, maybe it's the way, the mentality, they've given massive effort today, and I think sometimes when you're fatigued, you kind of zone out a little bit, but the real professional players are constantly in the game, totally concentrated, know when to maximise the opportunity to penetrate, know when to kill the game and control the game, and I think that in that sense I'm probably too harsh on our players, but I thought it was a game that really we could have, once they started chasing the goal, that we could have perhaps won by more. That's not being disrespectful to them, but if we'd had any clinical quality in terms of the breakout, then we would have. There's no better counter-attacker player than Kane.
The third goal that you scored, Harry Winter at the heart of it, and he's got the Man of the Match award as well today, and I thought that was deserved this afternoon. He had a good debut.
I think people were obviously going to watch this game with interest to see what he brought to us, and like I said, I think they've seen it. Showed them. For me, he's a better footballer than Gary Stopford, but still has the physical presence on the pitch. We needed to be a little bit clever about how we played the free, depending on the threat. Lewis was occupied with Warburton when he floated around. They obviously changed shape second half, and we needed to change ours to just get Harry alongside him. So having a player who can press high or sit low and control the game, but he showed some really assured touches, and I think it was a good debut for him, and I'm sure he'll be pleased to be aboard and looking forward to going forward with us.
He keeps it fairly simple, doesn't he? But he keeps the ball moving. You're always progressing.
Yeah, well, he's a proper midfielder, knows how to play the game. He knows when to go short. He's played a couple of balls in behind. Good presence on the pitch. Sometimes it can be underestimated when you pick up good positions and you cut lines off, and you make people go across the pitch. And like I said, I think there's loads more to come from him. Unfortunately, he's played the game at this level and made a reasonable living, but I think he's got a chance of becoming an improved player. Like I said, there's little bits and pieces that can add to players' games. It's like Connor Hampson. Curzon are quite high up the ill-disciplined table, and Connor Hampson's come into today's game with 9 bookings. In the last 3 or 4 games, he's had 2 bookings, and he's got to understand that we play with control, we play clean feet. The players have to talk him through that. No fouls, work your feet, and I'm having to do that too much in matches, and I think they need to do it. So it's disappointing that a player with that kind of mentality comes from Curzon. I need to get that out of him. Everybody was worried about Harry Winter, 10 yellows, but I think he makes his presence felt in the right times. Had a good chat with him about what I expect from players, and I don't think he gave away a foul today. Whereas Connor gave away a foul, and it's another goal on the goals against sheet. It's another goal that might make a difference when it comes down to. If we finish on the same points as a team in 5th, we'll be looking back at these games, the Bradford games, and we have to now make sure that we don't have any regrets going forward, and even given a goal such as today's game.
Going forward, it's those 2 massive away games now at Salford and Fylde. You're looking forward to those games?
Yeah, I mean, both of them have different challenges. Salford are quite I wouldn't say they're a direct team, but they work you really hard, and they're quite a physical team. They've got lots of they know how to get up the pitch and pressure and win set plays off you, and then they've also got long throws and set plays and quite a big side. So and they've always been like that. As they come up, and they've got a couple of good footballers that are good technicians from set plays. So there'll be a different challenge to Fylde, who obviously on a different pitch play a more expansive game, try to control the game. But it's a real challenge for us, and that's where I think today I wanted us in the last 20-30 minutes to know how to hold on to the ball and break out cleverly, and really hurt teams if they have territorial penetration on us. We need to be able to hurt them. So, different challenges. The most important thing today was that we kept ourselves in the hunt. It's nice to be on 58 points when we are very, very focused on getting into the playoffs, but it is also nice to know that statistically we're way ahead of any other season. We're ahead of where we want to be. And now if we get through these next 2 or 3 games, because we can't neglect the Tamworth game as well. It could be gung-ho for them at that stage, winning them games. But yeah, Salford and Fylde are going to be very, very difficult games for us. Our home record is as good as our away record now. But our away record has been pretty solid, and like I said, we have to manage the game really well. And if we do, and a bit better disciplined, a bit better defensively, take care of the ball, I think we'll have a chance of winning those games.
And it is a challenge, isn't it? Because I think you look statistically at the games that you played this season, you have struggled a little bit against teams in the top 5 so far in the campaign, and so it is a double challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, last year I think the club struggled, I think, against the top 8 sides. I think we finished 9th against the top 8 sides. They only had 1 win at home and 1 win away. Obviously away from home we've corrected that. Although the shape of the top sides is slightly different. We had Harrogate and Boston in that mix.
That's true,
and we've beaten both of them away from home, whereas they would be expected to be up there. But yeah, we've beaten Salford, we've beaten Chorley. There's other games where we haven't taken the maximum points, but we've been very competitive. Like I said, there's fine margins between success and failure. What we need to do is make sure that we've as efficient as possible defensively and as ruthless and clinical as we can attacking wise. It's nice to have the likes of Danny back on. The monkey off his back. He's got his 2 goals. So we've got a counter-attacking threat with him. We've got Kane. Jimmy Ball's now in a more advanced position. We've got a little bit of a structure to us. We can change the players we've got. So we've got a good squad, and I'd like to thank the Hatters and the board for their support over the last, and I think it can make a difference. Even they've seen Harry Winter today make a difference, and we've got a good deep squad at the moment, and we're going to need it as we put pressure on ourselves to get into the top 5 and stay there.
It could be even deeper as well with Adam Thomas, who maybe only, a month away from fitness?
I think we shouldn't put pressure on people like that. It'd be great for players like himself and Adam Etches to be in the hunt for a start. Hopefully we're not in a situation where games are meaningless and they get an opportunity, but it'd just be great for those lads to be back on the training ground and mixing it with the players and letting everybody know they're back. But at the moment we've got quite a good squad. We've also got the likes of Ryan Ellison out playing games and Max Cartwright. So when you think of those layers, we're in a good position.
And 1 defeat in 15 still. It's a terrific run that you're on at the moment, isn't it?
Well, like I said, I don't look at the 10 prior. Going into this game, we only had 4 points from 4 games, and I wanted to maximise. We needed to turn that around. We need to be one of the form sides in the last 10 games, and we started off with 3 points. But at the moment, we've not only got to be the form side, one of the form sides. We have to be the form sides to overcome the likes of Chorley and Salford and Halifax. But again, that's why next week provides such an appetising game, because it's a game where you can really turn around that deficit.
Can't wait. Well done today.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.